Siddhartha Gautama. He was born in Lumini near Kapilavastu, and he attained his enlightenment, which is Buddhi, under a sacred fig tree, which is after the enlightenment of Gautama Buddha. It is came to be known as Buddhi tree, which is in Bodh Gaya, also known as Gaya, which is present in Bihar. And Buddhism is one of the major schools of the Indian philosophy, and it comes under the heterodox branch of the Indian of the schools of Indian philosophy. So Buddhism was founded during 563 to 483 BCE, and it is originated as a reform movement of the Hinduism, and it aims of ending human suffering, which is dukkha, through wisdom, moral conduct, and meditation. And the philosophy of Buddhism focuses on the life rather than the speculative metaphysics. Core philosophy of Buddhism. So the first one is the central problem, which is the suffering or the dukkha, which we face in our lives. Then the cause of suffering, or we can also say the origin of the suffering, which is the desire and ignorance, tanha and avidya. And the goal of getting out of suffering, which is nirvana or the ultimate liberation from the cycle of birth and death, which is samsara. And the path to nirvana, the path to the goal is the middle way, which is madhyama marga. And the core philosophy of Buddhism emphasizes on self-effort, ethical conduct, and mindfulness. So the four noble truths of Buddhism. The first one is dukkha. It says that the life is full of suffering. Birth is the pain, old age is the pain, death, sorrow, grief, anxiety, everything is a pain, and the contact with unpleasant or separating from pleasant is pain. Not getting what one wants is a pain. And next is the samudaya, which is the cause of suffering, is craving, which is the tanha, or the desirement and attachment. Next is the nirodha, which is the cessation of suffering, possibly by removing the desire. So by removing our desires, we can attain nirodha of pain and misery, which here as it is mentioned, we can achieve by removing the desire or the tanha. And the marga, which is the end of suffering, by following the eightfold paths of Buddhism. And the eightfold paths of Buddhism help us to avoid both indulgence and severe asceticism, neither of which the Buddha had found helpful in his search of enlightenment. So this is a the summary of the Four Noble Truths, which is a disease dukkha, cause is the craving, cure is the nirvana, and a treatment through eightfold paths we can come out of the dukkha. So it is here is a quote, which is the root of suffering is attachment, as we already read about it. Then so the Noble Eightfold Path. So the Noble Eightfold Path is may be categorized into three classifications. First one is the wisdom. Second is the moral conduct. The third is the mental discipline. And in the first classification, we can see there are two paths, which is the right view, and the second is right intention. In the second, there are three paths: right speech, right action, and right livelihood. And in the third classification, we again have three paths, which is right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. And the explanation of each path. The right view, understanding the truth of life and karma. Then right intention is cultivating goodwill, renunciation, and compassion. Then right speech, avoiding lies, lies, harsh and harmful words. Then right action, living ethically, no killing, stealing or harming. Then right livelihood, earning a living without exploiting others. Right effort, striving to remove evil and develop virtue. Then right mindfulness, awareness of body, feelings and thoughts. Then right concentration, meditation, leading to deep focus and wisdom. This is the middle path, which is Madhyama Marga. So here it says that the Madhyama Marga avoids two extremes, which is the first one is self-indulgence in pleasure, and the second one is self-torture and asceticism. It encourages balanced life between the moral discipline and the meditation, which as a result leads to peace, wisdom, and the ultimate goal, which is the nirvana. Concept of nirvana. The final goal of Buddhism is the freedom from suffering and rebirth, which is samsara. Then second is the state of supreme peace and wisdom beyond all attachments. Not annihilation, but realization of truth and emptiness, which is sunyata. Then the last is achieved through insight and mental purification. So these are the causes of nirvana, and after getting liberated, what all the goals which we will achieve is mentioned here. Then next one is ethical teachings of Buddhism. So the first one is not to kill, not to steal, not to lie, and not to commit sexual misconduct, not to use intoxicants. Promotes non-violence, ahimsa and compassion, which is karuna. And the philosophical significance. So the philosophical significance, the first one is denials of permanent self, which is annata, and everything is changing, accepting that everything here present is not permanent. Then the second one is emphasizes voluntariness, which is means that everything here is for a moment or for the time being. It is not permanent. Then the third is reality is a continuous flux of of mental and physical states. The last one is offers of psychological and ethical approach rather than metaphysical speculation. And this is the main topic from which I have prepared. So, relevance of Buddhism in the modern world. So, Buddhism teachings are timeless, universal, addressing modern issues like stress, violence, and inequality. So, all the teachings of Buddhism are not limited for a time, and it is universal, and every person can practice it or can accept it at any point of time and from anywhere. And it addresses issues like the stress, violence, and inequality. The Buddhism philosophy focuses on inner peace. Even in the materialistic world, we can find our inner peace if we practice this. Then it promotes mindfulness and compassion, essential for mental health. Offers a non-dogmatic approach to spirituality, suitable for people of all faiths. Encourages self-awareness, ethical living in a rapidly changing world. This is the social and ethical relevance of Buddhism. First is ahimsa, non-violence. Inspires peaceful coexistence in a world of conflict. Second is equality and compassion. Emphasizes respect for all living beings. Third is environmental ethics. Buddhist respect for nature supports ecological balance. Then detachment from greed counters consumerism and promotes simple living. Then the last one is global peace. So the Buddhist principles guide conflict resolution and harmony among nations. So there is another quote which says that growth is painful, change is painful, but nothing is as painful as staying stuck. somewhere you don't belong. This is the conclusion. Buddhism offers a universal path to peace and happiness. It focuses on practice. The four noble truths and the eightfold paths remain timeless guides for ending human suffering. Be a light, and this is the quote from Lord Buddha, be a light unto yourself. These are the references. Here is another quote from Lord Buddha, peace comes from within.